All right, from season 3, episode 8. Sorry, I did not get to episode 7. Personal reasons, but we are here with episode 8. Doesn't really matter because I wasn't a fan of episode 7. I just feel like this season in general, including this episode 8, is slow. There's not much going on. I feel like they're grasping at straws here. This season just doesn't grab my interest the way the past 2 seasons have. I said that in my previous videos on this season. I don't know what it is. I feel like the writing is scattered. They don't know where to go with it. And I'm sure there's an end game. I just wish they would kind of give us a little more getting to that end game. So enough of that. Let's get to talking about this episode. Again, it was slow, but we had a feeling Julie and Randall were heading right back down that hole of hallucinating or experiencing whatever it is they experienced last time. And that's exactly what happened, because now she's seeing the dungeon that they were trapped at again. But this time, it's not so much that she's seeing it from a different time perspective. When Boyd was stuck in the well. Remember when Boyd was stuck in the well and the rope was thrown to him, and we're all wondering, how did the rope get down there when that guy was chained to the wall? Don't know. Now we do. It's this whole time travel thing. At least that's what we're suspecting. Or is it all in her head? We don't know that either. But if she's experiencing it, that means Randall isn't far behind, which is why Randall didn't go into that area when he warned Julie. Julie wanted to go in. He knew something bad was going to happen there, so he avoided it. Julie didn't heed the warnings. She went in, and she's freaking out again. We're going down that road again. Jade, on the other hand, is the only one that seems sane around here. He's the one that's really starting to calm down and piece things together, realizing that all of this stuff is feeding on fear and emotions, and there's got to be some kind of connection. And he's starting to come out of his drunken stupor and really put serious thought into this, thinking more with his head rather than his emotions that everyone else seems to be doing. But he's working hard at trying to figure something out. He doesn't know what that something is, but he knows something has a connection, and it's right in front of his face. He's working hard at doing it, and let's hope that he finds something. Meanwhile, Victor is finally starting to piece together all the stories that he had in his head, especially when it comes to Jasper. He realized it was in the basement of the church that he saw Jasper talk to Christopher. But he also realized that it wasn't Jasper talking, it was the boy in white. Victor can see the boy in white where many people can't, aside from Tabitha. Now, he's warning Christopher, the boy in white anyway, that the kids still need to be rescued, and he's given the same speech to Christopher that he gave to Tabitha and that he gave to Victor. Only that Christopher didn't quite believe him. He said everything lies here and decided not to go down that path. We can assume that he wanted Christopher to go through the faraway tree and do the same thing that he did with Tabitha. Whatever that reasoning might be, we don't know. All we know is that the kids that he's referring to, Save the Children, the Ankui kids, they had, we're assuming their hopes drained from them in those stone beds to form the symbol above in the tree roots. Now, what Victor's upset about, and what's really caused him to block this story out, is that he repeated this story to his mother. And then his mother took that seriously and left him and his sister in that cave, or whatever you want to call it, that cellar way, and she went to go, quote, save the kids, and it got her killed. So now Victor feels guilty for that. That's why he's all messed up in the head, and he's kind of mentally blocked that out. But somehow in the story, they're still working on the quote, the answers to the end are at the beginning. So whatever that means, something still has to do with the kids. There's still just a big riddle here that needs to be solved. Then we got Elgin and the possessed camera, as I call it, taking pictures of random things. All the things that it's trying to get Elgin to do. It's just entity that comes across as the woman in the kimono robe or dress, or whatever you want to call that thing. She's trying to get him to do her bidding, and it's working. This is the same thing that happened to Sarah when it was telling her to kill. So now the question is it the same entity? Is it something new? What's happening? Either way, Elgin's fallen down that same rabbit hole, and now he's going to be in just as much trouble with the town as Sarah is. Then we got Boyd, Fatima, and Ellis, who are basically stashing Fatima in the woods in that shack because she killed Tilly. And if the town finds out about that, which eventually they will, they're going to want her thrown in the box. Now, of course, Boyd isn't going to want to do that, so that's why they're stashing her in the shack. But let's face it, she's not all right in the head either. Something's got to her. But that's not going to matter any, because once the town finds out that Boyd's stashing her, they've already lost faith in Boyd as it is, so this is really going to push them over the edge and probably push Boyd out as a leader completely, which will probably be where Costa takes over as sheriff. She's already a police officer. She's already looking for a reason to push Boyd out. She doesn't trust him. Half the town's already lost most of their faith in him, and now I think this is what's going to push them over the edge. They're going to look for a new leader. Costa's going to be it, and she's going to take over. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's yet to be seen. I don't know. But now, since Boyd has helped Ellis and Fatima escape town, go find a place in the woods to hide out, this is not going to put him on the town's good side. But unfortunately for them, they don't even get to that point, because Elgin gets to Fatima first, talks her into following him down to the cellar where he found that other room. He basically forced her down there, saying that the baby is there, it's not hers, assuming that he means it's the woman in the kimono. And then now things are getting really confusing. This is basically a reoccurrence of Sarah killing the boy, and who knows what he's going to do to her down there. So aside from a very long, drug out, boring episode up until the last, we'll say 10 minutes, the season is very much a slow burn. I'm really, really hoping for something big to happen. We have 2 episodes left, and those 2 episodes have to have something huge. We already know, let's not be surprised, the final episode is going to be left on a huge cliffhanger. It has been the past 2 seasons. So I'm expecting something big to happen at the very last minute of the very last episode. So, where is all this going to lead us? I just hope and pray that it's something exciting. This series is definitely something that you need to binge. Watching an episode a week and then waiting in between is nerve-wracking. If you could binge this entire season in like one sitting or one weekend, that's how you need to watch this series, because there's such a slow burn in the season. But it's so good, but yet so frustrating. This is really tough to swallow, but I'm hoping that we're going to get to something good. Let me know what your thoughts are from Season 3, Episode 8. Where do you think this is heading? I need to know down in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe button on your way out if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next episode.